Hello there and welcome back to my channel. I don't know why my rainbow light is insisting on being so bright today. Maybe it's just to detract attention away from my phallic cactus. I don't know. Oh guys, I'm so excited today because we're going to be trying out the Ucanbe Longwear Matte Foundation. I'm a huge fan of Ucanbe, as you know by this point. I think the quality of their products for the most part is absolutely spectacular considering the super affordable prices, and this foundation I'm hoping is going to be no different. I picked this foundation up from, of course, Aliexpress. She cost me £1.89, which is just a steal. Like, part of me feels like this foundation is going to be shit based purely on the price. How can this be good? But you know what? We've been surprised before. This is Ucanbe that we're dealing with here. You know, Ucanbe very rarely have done me wrong. Okay, so just before I tell you about the foundation, which actually I don't have much info unfortunately, but I'll tell you about that later. I just want to mention that this foundation only comes in 7 different shades. I'm looking at the shades now, and unfortunately this product is not going to be able to be enjoyed by everyone because they do have such a limited range of shades. I know that I criticised Ucanbe quite a lot in the whole video where I showed this for the first time, but in hindsight I kind of felt a bit bad because, say if Ucanbe were like a high-end brand or even like L'Oreal, you know, a drugstore brand, I think it's fair and reasonable, you know, to expect a large and varied shade range. And obviously it's still reasonable to expect that of Ucanbe or any makeup brand. But realistically, I know that Ucanbe, you know, in the big scheme of things, they are a relatively small brand. I do appreciate that it costs brands a lot of money to create additional shades, so I do feel sad that there aren't enough shades because I know that there's certainly going to be so many people who just aren't able to use this foundation and enjoy it. And I'm not even talking about people particularly with deeper skin tones, even people with lighter skin tones. I think you're going to struggle to find your shade here. Luckily, because the product is so cheap, I don't know, maybe if you could like mix up some shades, you could become like a shade creating chemist in your bedroom, just like mixing them all up. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that many people with very deep skin, I just don't think they're going to be able to find their shade, which, I mean, with everything I've just said, it still doesn't make it not sad. Okay, so I tried to do a little bit of research into this foundation last night. I just wanted to find out a bit of info. Unfortunately, I found nothing. There was no info whatsoever. So what I can tell you is, so far on the Ucanbe official store on AliExpress, this product has received 4.9 stars out of 5, and that is from 35 different reviews. All I really have to go off with the description is, it just says, foundation, face, base, nude, makeup, natural colour, full coverage, concealer, primer, BB cream, waterproof cosmetics. I'm actually more confused after reading that than I was before. Okay, so we don't really have much to go off, so I think there's nothing left but to just dive right in and slather this all over my face. Just to let you know, I got the shade Light Sand, which is smack bang in the middle of the shades. So there's 3 shades lighter and there's 3 shades deeper than this. So I'm middlemaning it today. Oh, I'm in the middle of the gangbang. Oh, go me. So it comes in this box, which I think it looks very fancy. They've made an effort. It does also claim that this product is cruelty-free, which is wonderful. So this is what the packaging looks like, and you cannot see that, can you? Which is not good. Unacceptable. Right, okay, so if I turn my lights down, this is what she looks like. She comes in this squeezy tube, which I, for one, really like. It feels like there is a feck ton of air in there. I know that that's quite a bizarre, like, point to make, but yeah, she feels like she is pumped to within an inch of her life. Kind of like my lips back when I used to get them done. Not had my lips done in ages, although I still get many criticisms about them on the daily, of course. I've given up that life. That life's behind me now. Probably not. I'll probably get them done again at some point, but Okay, so as we had very little info to go off, there was no guidance as to, whether should you apply this with a sponge, a brush, fingertips. So I'm just going to go in with a sponge. I don't generally apply foundations with a brush, but I do know that a lot of people do. So for today, and probably today only, because I happened to wash all my brushes yesterday, so I happen to have a clean foundation brush. So for today only, I'm going to do one side with a sponge and the other side with a brush. First, we're going to begin with the sponge side. I'm just going to give a little shake. Okay, so this shade is going to be interesting. Oh my gosh, actually it looks quite light. And also, just to mention, I did do fake tan yesterday because it's winter time here, and part of me was thinking, what's the point of fake tanning? I'm literally like covered up from head to toe. Who will appreciate my fake tan? But I did it anyway, and I actually realised, yes, that was a really good idea, because I find that, if you fake tan, for me, it seems to take like £10 off me, and all of a sudden I look like I work out. So I actually felt really, really good about myself, and I was like, yes, bitch, yes, I will fake tan just for me to enjoy, because it makes me feel good. But anyway, I did fake tan my face. I put an ultra dark shade on, and after 2 hours I realised, and when you've taken it a step too far today, this is just a little bit too extreme for you. So I took it off, but as you can see, I am a little bit bronzed today. And this, oh, okay, so it feels really thick. I don't know why, I'm surprised it feels really thick. But actually, now that I've blended it out a little bit, I can definitely see she's very yellow. Oh my gosh, and I've got a feeling she's going to oxidise like a bad boy as well, which is great. Oh, okay, yeah, she feels really, really thick. So do you know what? I'm just going to get started. I'm going to just blend her out. I've got a feeling she may be the type of foundation that just sets into place rapidly fast. Now that I'm blending her out, I'm realising that I definitely don't have the right shade. She is extremely kind of a yellow / orangey undertoned. I really am just praying to the god of foundations that she's not going to oxidize anymore, because then she's going to look super bad, like super bad. But do you know what? She's going on beautifully, and I mean, I can definitely see that the finish looks supremely gorgeous. I just made my face look so smooth. Can you see that? Like, I know it's tough to compare, but on this side, I obviously have pores, fine lines, textures. I have little scars when I used to have acne really, really bad. There's a lot going on. I've got redness. But over here, we've just got this smooth canvas, which, yes, admittedly, it's an orange canvas. But I just can really appreciate how my skin looks so smooth. And I would definitely say this is a full coverage kind of situation. I mean, I've applied with a sponge and she's full coverage. I can't imagine what kind of coverage we're going to get with a brush. Extreme coverage. Oh, she's feeling really, really comfortable on the skin as well. Oh my gosh, like I am actually really liking this so far. And for me to say that with half my face looking bright orange, I think is testament to the fact that hopefully this is going to be a really good foundation. Okay, so yes, I have got my hat on. I could easily make an excuse that it's just because it's so freezing in here, but no, I've just not washed my hair for 5 days. Okay, so I'm just going to pop a little bit onto my forehead. This product spreads out so easily, and you only have to use like the tiniest amount. And even with again, using a sponge, usually my sponge, it loves nothing more than to eat up my foundation. It thinks I've served it like a 5-course meal, and it just gobbles it all right up. But with this, I literally applied just a tiny bit, just so that we could have a little look at the shade. She covered my whole half of my face, like 50% of my face. But up on the forehead there, I think, we can really, really get a good kind of perspective on just how much this foundation shade does not match me, which do you know what, I'm kind of happy about, because if this is like the middle of all the shade ranges, I would be quite annoyed if it did match me, honestly. Oh, also, just to mention, something that I did find really helpful on the Ucanbe official store, when it comes to picking your shade, and obviously this did not, like, it was helpful, and I really appreciated this being here, but obviously did not take any notice of it whatsoever, and just thought I knew better. But I really like how they kind of show you, I will put pictures now, but they show you the shades by using models who have that kind of, skin tone. which I always find that that's like the most helpful way of picking a shade. I just don't think it's helpful at all. You know, when you see the shades just like in blobs or swipes, what I want to see is an actual person that has the same skin tones and colourings than I have, although I've kind of forgot what my colourings are because I've just been dyeing my hair since I was 16. Yeah, I found that extremely helpful, but obviously just took no notice of it whatsoever and did my own thing. Looking at this actually now, I would definitely say that if this foundation turns out to be a success, I'll definitely be going back in with the second to lightest shade, which is the shade Light. Okay, so as promised, I'm going to go in with that brush on the other side. This is a Zoeva. It's not. This is a fake. It's a fake I picked up ages ago on Aliexpress. And it's honestly, for a fake, like this feels so good. I can't imagine the real thing being like any better. Like, what does the real thing do? Does it come and tickle your vagina as you're applying your foundation? I don't know. So I'm just going to put the tiniest amount there. I have to warn you before we begin, I don't ever use a brush to apply foundation, so this is completely new to me. Okay, so yeah, I've applied a little bit less than the last time, and doesn't seem to be spreading as well with a brush. That's strange, isn't it? Because I always thought that a brush would kind of spread out the product more because it wouldn't absorb it like sponge would. But I mean, actually, this doesn't seem to be spreading as easily. Or maybe just because, you know, I've not got my driver's license for using a brush because I never use one. Oh my gosh, do you know what? Saying that, this is now going on like nobody's business. Look at this. Oh my gosh. I'm lost for words, and that never happens. Yeah, I definitely think you could use a sponge or you could use a brush for this foundation. I think whatever your preference is, you'd have a good time with either. Oh, I've got to do the one showing my side and the side that's not done. Oh, God damn it. That's my favourite bit of doing these foundation reviews. I love doing that. Okay, so this is the side I've done and the side with nothing on it. Oh, that's one of my favourite moments. But, oh well, guys. Like, I think it was clear to see just face on what an impact this foundation actually had. Do you know what? I love this foundation. I recently tried out the NARS Natural Longwear Radiant Foundation. It's just got the most ridiculous longest name in the history of foundations, but I tried that out and I expected great things and I was so disappointed because it was shit. And I even tried to use it the other day and it just highlighted all my dry patches. It looked scaly, looked flaky, it just looks shit. And that is like a £35 foundation. I know that makeup's subjective, what works for me won't work for someone else. So I know that, you know, we're all very different, but yeah, oh my god, that foundation was balls to the wall shit. Okay, so I've not actually taken a second to actually look at my face up close. I've just been literally looking at it here. So, oh my gosh, like, I'm just going to take a deep breath in and just pray that this looks just as good in my mirror of reality than it does here. Please look good in my mirror of reality, please. Oh, holy vaginas. Oh gosh, guys, it is so full coverage. And do you know what? If we think it looks orange here, you should see how it looks in my mirror of reality. Like, really, let me just turn my cameras down because I really want you to be able to enjoy this level of, oh, you can't really see. I'll do a little bit of filming in natural light in a minute and I'll pop that footage in. But, oh my gosh, like, it looks really good here. But, wow. I mean, I'm just a little bit taken aback by how orange it is, and also I would definitely say that it does look a lot heavier in person. Like, on camera this looks really good, and just based on how it looks here on camera, I'm definitely going to go and buy the lighter shade, and this would be a really good foundation for me to film in because it just looks so good on camera, and I'm sure in photos it would also look magnificent, but in person it looks heavy, it looks cakey. My chin is a real problem zone, and I don't know if you can see that, but it just looks so textured down there. It's literally like emphasizing every single line I have, every single minute dry patch, like dry patches I didn't even know I had. It is looking pretty like almost powdery on my nose. Like I get the feeling that this foundation is kind of like a self-setting foundation because it literally feels dry on my face. I definitely don't feel like I need to go in with a powder and set this, because I just think that it would look even drier. And also, like, this feels like it's just locked in place. So literally the last thing I would ever want to do with this now is add powder. I must say though, it's looking quite nice around my pores, on my nose, which never happens. So I'm enjoying that. In terms of kind of comparing the two different sides to try and see, you know, which kind of method of application gave me the best results, it's really tough to say. Like, both sides just look very similar. Although if I had to say, I mean, I would probably say the sponge side just looks a little bit of a lighter coverage. If you're a fan of applying with a brush, then yeah, I certainly don't think you'll have any issues. So I mean, just based on how this looks now, I definitely do not like it in person, and I definitely would not be wearing this like outside of the house. So camera, wonderful. Definitely would wear this every single time for filming. So as with all of my foundation reviews, I like to wear the foundation over a few days just so that I can really thoroughly test it out, so that I can give you the best, most thorough review that I can. I'm going to just finish off the rest of my makeup. I'll pop back, let you know how everything's feeling. Okay, so for contour today, I used the Charisma Contour Palette in the shade Cool and Light. I just popped a little bit of the very cool toned contour shade on my cheeks just to try and add a little bit of definition to my face, and also I wanted to try and distract away a little bit from the overwhelming orange that we have going on. This applied beautifully on top of the foundation. Okay, so next, for a little pop of colour on the cheeks, I added the beautiful Space Age highlighter by Kaleidos Makeup in the shade Mars Melter. I popped this on the apples of my cheeks and just tuck it back towards my ear. This is the most gorgeous kind of rose gold pinky sparkly blush. And when I say sparkly, she is sparkly because she has a lot of glitter in her. I know that's not for everyone, but this one is just so beautiful. I just love it. Okay, and for the lips, I'm mixing two of these mini MAC lipsticks. First one, which is a beautiful kind of brown nude, is in the shade Feed the Senses. The second one that I'm just going to apply over the top is a beautiful cooled toned lilac. This is called Cool Companion. I don't believe that these are part of the regular kind of matte collection, but they're both absolutely gorgeous and two of my favourites. Okay, so I'm back. I have to say that my makeup, i.e. the contour and the blush, applied absolutely sensationally on top of this base. You definitely do not need to set this foundation at all. You know, with other foundations where you do have to set them, if you forget to set them and then you try and apply especially like a contour or a bronzer, it just drags and it looks terrible. Well, with this one, it just kind of, oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever had an easier kind of contour experience, honestly. It just went on, it glided like I was applying it over a silk. Beautiful. So surprisingly, given how full coverage this foundation is, it feels super light, so comfortable on my face. It kind of feels like I'm not wearing anything, and I think part of that may be due to the fact that it does kind of set itself, so potentially it's incorporated with a lot of like talc to encourage it to set. I don't know, but it just feels so comfortable on my face. Do you know what? I'm actually feeling very optimistic with this foundation. If nothing else, this is going to be a fantastic filming foundation. I know that not everyone is filming, and that a lot of you guys are probably just interested in seeing how is it as a foundation, like how does it wear, how does it look, which honestly, like for filming, looks bottom diggity down. If you're a YouTuber like me, this is a great one to go for. Just to show you a close-up of the foundation, I'm also going to go and film outside in a minute, so I'll show you what it looks like outside. But I just think this looks absolutely flawless compared to the NARS Natural Radiant whatever foundation. This is what I expected that foundation to be, but it wasn't. I would definitely say this is a true matte, but it looks very natural, apart from the shade, of course. But hey, that was my fault, not the foundation. So yeah, it looks really good. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, so I just snipped outside so that you can see what the foundation looks like in natural light, and I think you can see a massive difference now. I mean, it's kind of amazing how much artificial lighting does actually affect like what you're seeing, because here in natural light, do you see what I mean? Like the chin situation looks terrible, the pores, fine lines, everything. Like this foundation has made my skin look a million times. Someone's coming. Oh my god. Oh, now I'm just literally hiding out by my bins. But yeah, like I think now you can definitely see why I was saying this foundation, it looked really good in like studio artificial lights, but out in natural lights. And you know, I'm sure that most people, I also peep that mismatching shade as well. I mean, really, I'm sure the majority of people are looking for a foundation that will look good in natural light. So yeah, unfortunately for me, I can tell you right now, this one is not a natural light kind of foundation, but for filming, great. Okay, so I'm back inside now, and do you know what? I wanted to kind of give you my thoughts on this foundation now, because I feel like actually I understand the soul of this foundation, and I was actually quite surprised and shocked by how bad it looked when I showed you outside. Like, because I was thinking, oh my gosh, like honestly, like, and I still do believe that in artificial lights it looks brilliant. And will I buy a lighter shade and will I wear it for filming? Yes, I definitely will, providing the lighter shade still looks as good. I definitely will, and I would recommend this foundation for anyone that films regularly or enjoys doing like photo shoots, or you know, if you're going to be in front of studio lighting, then I probably would recommend this foundation. But for me, it looked so bad outside. I couldn't recommend this foundation to anyone really, because it is very heavy, and maybe if I'd applied less of it, it wouldn't have looked so heavy. So I do fully accept that it was partly, you know, my fault. Maybe I just applied way too much, but I know right now that I would not wear this foundation out and about. It's very heavy looking. It will emphasize any fine lines, pores, texture you have in your skin. So if you're a more mature individual, I would not recommend this foundation for you. I think if you're a fan of very full coverage foundations, and I don't just mean like full coverage, I mean extra full coverage. If you're a fan of that and you have very untextured skin, or you know, you're just not bothered about like texture showing or flaws showing, or even if you just want to give the foundation a go, give her a go. She's so affordable. So for me, this is like a bit of a strange one, because on the one hand, I hate the look of this foundation in natural light, but on the other hand, I absolutely love the look of the foundation in my studio lights. Although I feel a bit of a fraud saying studio lights, because that makeup room, it ain't a studio, like it just ain't. But I must say though, pros are that this foundation, it feels so comfortable. Like it, for such a full coverage foundation, it feels like very lightweight, and I don't feel like it's making my skin feel dry at all, which is quite the novelty, because the majority of foundations will make my skin feel dry. So I believe that if you've got dry skin or oily skin, this foundation could work good for you, whatever your skin type. I just am reeling a little bit, honestly, about the shock of seeing my face out there, because oh my gosh, I didn't even think my face looked that bad. And this is the kind of foundation that would make me not want to wear foundation, because I think my skin looks so much better without it. Okay, so just to summary, I think that this foundation is perfect for studio wear, but for everyday people and everyday wear, going to the office, not that anyone's doing that at the moment because lockdown. But if you're out and about, going out partying, again, not that anyone's doing that at the moment because lockdown. If you're just sat around your house chilling out, then this would be a comfortable foundation to wear. But in natural light, this foundation will emphasize every single flaw you have, even flaws you did not know you have. I realised today I've got shitloads more texture on my chin than I even ever imagined I did. I'm not going to be wearing this foundation again and going outside, but I will be wearing the foundation again and filming, probably. Or maybe not. I don't know. It's very full coverage, guys. And you know what, I'm a medium coverage kind of girl. So, do you know what? I'm going to wrap this up here. I'm sure that I've missed out loads and loads of things. And I'm really, really sorry that I've not continued to wear this foundation and test it out over a number of days like I normally do. But I just don't feel like I need to do that because for me, the foundation looks so awful in natural light. I don't want to revisit that again. And I already know it looks good in studio light and I know it feels comfortable. And because I'm only going to be wearing it under studio lighting, then I don't really give a shit if it lasts 8 hours or not. I actually think that this foundation probably would hold up really, really well. I just think it's so full coverage and I don't know who would want this much full coverage. I don't think anyone would need this much full coverage. And the irony of this foundation being so full coverage is that, yeah, it probably covers up if you've got a tiny spot or a tiny bit of, like, you know, red patches or hyperpigmentation, but it's going to emphasize every other bit of texture you have on your face and even stuff you did not even know existed. I love Ucanbe. I'm a huge fan and supporter of the brand, but this foundation is definitely one that I cannot recommend. Even to an 18-year-old with flawless skin, I cannot recommend it. I'm just going to leave it up to you to, you know, if you want to buy the foundation, go for it, see what you think. I feel like this is like the worst foundation review I've ever done because I'm so kind of like here, there, everywhere. But literally, the least of this foundation's problems are the shade range. And the least of my problems at the moment with this foundation is this shade. I mean, and that kind of says it all. So anyway, guys, I can't help but feel I've let you down here with this review, but this is just the honest truth, really. I don't want to put the foundation on again because it made my skin look so bad in natural light and I can't believe my skin actually looked that bad. Makeup is meant to make us feel better about ourselves. It's meant to give us confidence. And believe me, I'll happily not wear makeup. I am confident without makeup. I don't need it to make me feel confident. But makeup is just meant to enhance things, you know? And this does not enhance things. If you've got any questions or comments, please let me know downstairs. And also, I would be really keen for you to let me know if you tried this foundation, what did you think? And also, what are your thoughts on this whole scenario we have going on? Like, actually, even like I'm sat in front of my big bay window here. So this is natural light and you can see it just looks absolutely shit. It just goes to show how powerful artificial lights actually are, you know, because this, look, I'm back in natural light again, looks shit. I don't know, would I be interested in a lighter shade or not? Oh, guys, anyway, I don't know, but I'm going to go. If I get the lighter shade, I will let you know, but anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Oh, peep who I'm watching. My favourite. Oh, Nady. Oh, I love him so much. Oh, I'm his biggest fan. Well, I'm probably not because I know everyone loves him. How could you not love him? But I just adore him. I would just binge watch him constantly. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go. Bye.